Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about progression. Now I'm talking about this topic today because a lot of you guys have, finally started farming Wyvern and are wondering what you do next. Do you farm Wyvern forever like everyone says, or can you move on to other stuff in the game? Honestly, you could get by just by farming Wyvern, but you're going to want to get other sets from different hunts, different areas of content. You're going to want other materials as well to potentially change the sum stats of some of your gear that didn't roll as you wanted. That being said, let's just talk about Wyvern very quickly. So let's say you have your Wyvern team done, right? I have a sample Wyvern team right here. Most likely you'll have Mui instead of Clarissa here, or even Sigrid instead of Clarissa, and Mew instead of Alexa, and so forth. But let's say you have your Wyvern team done. What do you do with your Wyvern units? Do you use them anywhere else? Honestly, you're not going to really use your Wyvern units anywhere else besides maybe Angelica. If you're using Angelic Montmorency instead of Angelica, then definitely you use her. But Angelica is still a good healer in other areas of content, especially when paired with Angelic Montmorency, because they both have pretty good synergy with healing and cleansing. And Angelica is a good substitute until you get Tamarin in the future, which you might want from that triple banner in the future, right? But yeah, that being said, the only unit you'll really use outside of Angelica, actually there's no other units, right? It's just Angelica from your Wyvern team. And then after that, right, what do? So you want to get into Adventure, right? You want to get into Adventure because you want to unlock some key specialty change units. So the ones that I recommend getting ASAP are going to be, actually, I don't know why I went in there. You're going to want to get Adventure Ross, first and foremost, alongside Angelic Montmorency. So Angelic Montmorency, very easy to farm, so I'm not going to go over her specialty change quest that much. You can get her very early into the game, and you probably already have her unlocked. But Adventure Ross, you're going to want to clear Chapter 10 of Episode 2 to unlock his quest, and then you're going to want to do him ASAP. Adventure Ross is very powerful. You use him in a lot of areas of PvE content, and he's still very strong in PvP right now. Angelic Montmorency, you'll basically take her everywhere. Now, besides those two, which ones do you want to focus on? I recommend Commando Arena. She's a 3-star connection unit you can get, and also Falcon and Clury, which you get for free as well. Those units are very powerful as well. I think Falcon and Clury not as good as Aros anymore, but Commando Arena definitely really strong, especially with the new areas of content that have come out. So make sure you prioritize those 4 specialty change units, especially after you clear Wyvern. Then you can start progressing into other hunts and areas of content. So what do I recommend first off the bat after Wyvern? So some people are going to recommend getting into Banshee because everyone loves the Banshee sets, right? You want counter, you want life steal on your shiny ML5 units like Rylot or even Violet, right? Because you want to get into PvP ASAP. Well, the thing is, guys, if you go from Wyvern to Banshee and don't have a Banshee one-shot team set up, your runs are going to take forever. The only way you can go from Wyvern into Banshee straight is going to be with like Baiken, because Baiken can one-shot without a rage set. Now, obviously other units can as well, but they need crazy stats, and it's not really worth it. So what I recommend is actually going from Wyvern into Azumnak and Hellraid. Now, why do I loop Hellraid and Azumnak together? Well, that's because both of these hunts, or both Azumnak Hunt and Hellraid, you can use very similar units. So you can use basically Bomb Model Kana, Aros, Amomo, and Seorina, and basically every single boss in Hellraid, and also use Aros, Angelic Montmorency, Bomb Model Kana, and like another stripper or dispeller for Azumnak. So very, very common, units that you can use in both areas of content. If you guys don't know what Hellraid is, you click Asmocolis here in the Labyrinth tab. You want to clear normal raid first to unlock Hellraid. Then you get into Hellraid, and you'll see there's crazy loot you can get. There's a shop there as well that gives you immunity chest and a speed sword that rolls very well, and it's a very, very good source of gear. So I recommend getting into Hellraid ASAP. And while you're farming Hellraid, don't forget to do your normal raid, because this will be a great source of epic artifact charms, which are very scarce, and actually also a good source of Moonlight bookmarks or Galaxy bookmarks, because they drop from the boss, and they'll give you the entry tokens to get into Hellraid. So that being said, Wyvern, get your specialty change units done. Bomb Model Kana, she's also a connection unit, which you want to get from Episode 3, Chapter 2, I think. So make sure you try to get her as well. She's very powerful as an AoE DPS. But if you don't want to waste your time getting Bomb Model Kana, you can actually use like Arbiter Villager instead. He works fine as well for both Hellraid and Azumnak 13. Same with Spectre Tenebria if you chose her from your Moonlight Blessing. So that being said, let's say you have your Azumnak team and your Hellraid team running, right? Which if you don't know what to use or how to beat the bosses, you can check out my Hellraid guide and my Azumnak guide on my channel, because I have a guide for every single boss for Hellraid and for Azumnak if you guys are struggling with both of those areas of content. What do you do after that? So while you're farming Azumnak, you're going to be getting something called Rage Set. So Rage Set's really good because like I said, you're going to want to put this on your Banshee one-shot unit so you can start farming Banshee one-shot. Now the reason why I recommend Banshee one-shot is because normal runs take like 5 minutes. Banshee one-shot takes less than a minute. It's just way more efficient, and honestly, while you're farming Azmonak, you're getting immunity set as well, which is very important for PvP, even though it's fell off a little bit, still very good. And rage set, you're going to need a lot of those later on actually for one-shotting hunts. So that being said, farm Azmonak and Hell Raid, get your rage set gear, and then start, farming Banshee one-shot. The reason why I also recommend Banshee after Azmonak and Hell Raid is because Banshee requires specific units. You're going to need specific earth units. But the thing is with Azmonak is there's a lot of team comps. So yeah, you're going to see Vivian, Bike, and Leo. The most common comp. You can 3-man this with this comp. And it's kind of hard to get those units because Vivian is an RGB 5-star, which is not free. And also Baiken's a collab unit, which you're going to kind of want from Guilty Gear if you can Pulver. And you can also use other one-shotters, but yeah, like I said, they're not free either. But Azmonak 13, there's a lot of free-to-play units, right? Aros free, you can use him with Angelic Montmorency, you can use it with Bomb Model Kana, Arby's free, right? Falconer Clury here, right? Like this comp, rank 5 comp, you can just sub out Tamarin for Angelic Montmorency and it works. And there's a lot of what's it called? Team comps you can run that don't require you to have units that you pulled for. You can even use Bomb Model Kana instead of any other unit here, and she's very, very strong. So that being said, yeah, Wyvern into Hell Raid and Azmonak, and then into Banshee, and then you can start farming those sweet PvP sets, Lifesteal Encounter. But what do you do after that? So those are the 3 main hunts I recommend. Golem, you don't really want to farm because the sets aren't that great, and Katie's you get into super late game, which I'll talk about in a minute. But after you have the 3 main hunts, Wyvern, Banshee, Azmonak, and Hell Raid on farm, what do you do after that? So after that, what I recommend is getting into PvP and expeditions. So what you're going to want to do is make your arena offense team and your defense team to protect your points, and also try to make some decent Guild Wars teams to actually start winning so you can farm more Mystic Metals, and doing both of those will actually in turn allow you to pull more units, because Arena will give you Skystones every week depending on your ranking, if you guys didn't know. I don't know if I can show you because it's NPC challenge. Yeah, I can't, but the higher rank you are, the more Skystones you get per week. It is your best source of Skystones as a free-to-play player. In Guild Wars, just by winning more battles and helping your guild rank up, you'll get more Mystic Metals, which will allow you to pull more units for PvP, right? Also, you want to get into Expeditions, because Expeditions will drop you a lot of Reforged Mats, a lot of Mulgora, and also something called, actually, is it here? The enhancement, what's it called? These gems, right? So the equipment modification gems. So you can choose one substat on a piece of gear and change it out for another, so it'll upgrade your gear in a, indirect sense. So make sure you get into the 3 hunts, guys, Wyvern, and then Azmonak into Banshee, then start getting into PvP, not RTA, just Arena and Guild Wars, and then Expeditions. Then after that, and you have like a solid foundation, you're pulling a lot of units, you can get into Katie's, which is going to drop you the sweet penetration injury sets, which are very good on late game PvP units like Violet, Remnant Violet, Bellion, stuff like that. Because, yeah, Katie's is hard to get into. You need really good gear to make the runs worthwhile, and you need really specific units. Like Rwana and Tamarin are kind of like a must-have, and then you kind of want Sermian and SSB as well. Syria is like okay, Violet's okay, right? But the top 4 picks here are going to be the best free-to-play team. Pretty sure if I click the team rankings, yeah, it's going to be the #1 team by a large margin. So 11.5% versus 3% on the next. So it's a huge majority of players are using this comp. So it's really hard to get into because of the units. And also, if you don't have good gear, there's actually 2 bosses in this hunt. Your runs will take even longer than Banshee normal. So hard to get into, but yeah, that's a general progression guide that I recommend for newer players, actually just everyone in general. I know there's a lot of other ways to play the game, but this is what I recommend, and this is what I've seen most people do and have most success with. Basically, just to recap, right? Wyvern team into, completing a venture, getting your specialty change done, then getting into Azmonak and normal/Hell Raid, and then after that, you make your Banshee one-shot team, start farming Banshee. Then you get into PvP here, you want to get into Arena, Guild Wars, and Expeditions, and then you get into Katie's, right? Now, Abyss, Hall Trials, Automaton Tower, basically just do that, whenever you have spare time, and yeah, just farm it as you will. And all the meanwhile, try to get as far as you can in Adventure to unlock, Selective Summon Part 2, and just keep up with the story. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my progression guide, especially for newer players, guys. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you guys leave a like and a comment. It really helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And also drop a subscribe if you haven't considered it already, if you guys want to see more content from me. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.